My next guest's got a huge fight coming up here against Ed Ruth at Bellator 245 on September 11th. It is Tombstone Taylor Johnson joining me here on the program yet again. Taylor, how's it going?
Good, man. Everything's good.
I bet. Live on location in the RV. This is something we talked about last time. Living the RV life, right? Got to make it work.
Yeah, for sure. I've been training over at American Top Team Portland, and I'm living in Sisters right now. But yeah, I bring the RV up here, train during the week, and then go home on the weekends.
Awesome. What brought you up there?
I'm from Redmond, Oregon.
Okay.
And I have quite a few friends that train at American Top Team. I know Austin Vanderford. He's also a Bellator fighter. Trains out there, and we trained together in college at Southern Oregon. So
I somehow missed all this. I didn't even realize that you're from there originally, or maybe we did. Maybe we talked about it and I just somehow forgot, because you're not that far away from me. I'm in Vancouver, Canada. So you're like, maybe 5-6 hour drive away. So that's
yeah, not too far for sure.
Beautiful area for sure. It's been a bit, man. Contender Series was the last time we saw you compete. I know you had that fight in Bellator earlier this year that got scrapped, but was the plan to always fight that late in the year, or were you trying to get a fight in between there? What was sort of the game plan after the Contender Series?
I honestly was trying to get fights right after the Contender Series. Had a couple little injuries here and there and was just kind of waiting. Maybe something would come up. Ended up moving back home during that time. Was working. I've just been working construction and building. And then all the COVID stuff started happening. So it kind of just put a halt on everything until, I obviously signed with Bellator was, I think, in December. And so I was trying to get fights with them the whole time. And then all this happened, and just been kind of sitting and waiting for them to open back up, and now they got the ball rolling. So,
how did that come together with you signing with Bellator? That's a pretty big deal, getting to go with them and kind of build your career with them.
I knew that I had such a hard time getting fights in the LFA and some of the smaller promotions that it was going to take me probably some time to get back, try to get back in a position to maybe sign with the UFC. And Bellator was there, ready to go right away. I got great management, so they have a lot of guys in Bellator and the UFC, and the opportunity was there, so I jumped on it, and here I am.
Are you with Dave Martin? Who's your manager?
Yes, Dave Martin. And all.
Yeah, he's I love Dave because he's like one of those guys you never think of, because he's not like one of those managers who's very like public facing, but he's got a lot of really good guys in multiple promotions, Bader and Chandler and all those guys, right? So
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, no, makes sense, that kind of with the connection there. So is this like a multi-fight contract, or is it like, win one, have an option for a second? What does your contract look like?
I signed a 4-fight deal with them.
Awesome.
18 months, something like that.
Good for you, man. Yeah, because they don't often give that out, right? Usually it's like they'll give you one fight and then you got to prove yourself, but I'm glad to see they're investing in you, and they should, man. You got a great record at 5-1, so that's really great to hear. Initially, I can't remember the guy you're supposed to fight in your Bellator debut, but now you're fighting Ed Ruth. What was going through your head when you got that opponent? Because he's like a guy they've been high on for a very long time.
For sure. I was super excited, man. I know that last opportunity fell through. I think they had a few guys that weren't interested in fighting me. I had a 205er that was at the event who didn't care to fight me. So Bellator was like, well, maybe this guy's kind of, I don't know, he's got something going on. People don't really care to fight him. So I got offered the name Ed Ruth, and, I jumped on it. So I'm pretty excited. It'll be a good scrap.
Yeah, it certainly will. And obviously Ed, known for his wrestling. I mean, he's worked on his striking as well. He's sort of becoming that mixed martial artist that, everyone sort of thought. But you're pretty well-rounded too, man. How do you look at this fight from a style perspective?
I don't know. Him coming up to, he's not a small guy, but him coming up to 85, it's a big jump from 170. So I don't know. I'm a decent sized 85er. I'm known to have quite a bit of power too. So I don't know. I don't know what Ed's, if he's going to try to stand and get it. I know I'm not going to try to out wrestle him. So
right. Yeah, no, of course.
I think it's going to be probably a striking match, or he's just going to get exhausted trying to take me down, I assume.
And you talked a bit there about training camp at American Top Team Portland. I believe Austin's in Florida, right? If I'm not mistaken, training down there, Vanderford. Yeah. So
he's in Florida right now. Him and Paige over there.
Right, because of the whole. Paige signed with Bare Knuckles, so that was down there. I'm sure that was sort of the reason for them training down there. But so who have you got to work with mainly there? Because I know Ed Herman's there, right? Like who else are you getting to work with?
Yeah, I train with Ed quite a bit. Eric McConico is a pretty tough dude. Johnny, I don't know Johnny's last name. I got quite a few pros that are all pretty good sized dudes, and I get some actual great training here. I appreciated my old gym back in San Diego, but there's a lot of big dudes at this gym I'm training at, which is awesome.
And you're at home, right? Which is nice too. So.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm pretty close. I'm only about 2.5 hours away from where I'm living in Sisters, Oregon.
Oh, cool. Okay. And like your family still live there, I guess?
I got my sister and her husband in town, and my parents live here part of the year. My dad's a timber faller, and so he kind of just moves up and down the coast where where the good work and good timber is. So.
And I guess you're away from all that protesting that's going on in Portland, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen any of that. I don't think I'd do well down there. So.
Well, I don't know how those Antifa guys would do against a guy like you. I think you could throw some hands. So we should maybe test that out. But no, glad to see you out of the crossfire there, because some really bad stuff happening with all the looting and protesting and all that. But that's a podcast for another day. How about the weight cut? How's that going? Trying to get down to 85.
It's going well, man. I've only bounced up like 20, sometimes 25 over, and I don't know I don't lift as much. I mean, I do to stay strong, but the weight comes off pretty easy. I'll probably, cut 10 pounds a week and feel good. I don't like cutting a lot of weight. I've over the years of doing it from wrestling to fighting, man, it makes you not enjoy the sport sometimes. So try to keep control.
Do you spend more time at the gym just because, being in an RV, I'm sure you probably want to be somewhere a little bit bigger? Is that, or do you like, hanging out at the RV?
I'm fortunate to have some good people around me that let me park my RV on their place, and I spend a few hours at the gym every day, and then I have my stuff I need to train. I actually have a traveling partner who travels with me to train, so we hit pads and get what training we need in, and it's pretty great, man. I enjoy it. But yeah, the RV life's pretty cool, honestly.
I love being that's one of the things my wife and we want to get one eventually, because we love camping out here in the Pacific Northwest. There's so many good spots. So it's like, I could see the appeal of it being like kind of cool as well. I got to ask though, with this time of year, like especially being the summer and a lot of people can't travel as much because of COVID. Have you seen the parks just sort of fill up with, I know you're at your friend's house, but if you have gone to like RV parks, are they like more packed than usual?
Yeah, they're pretty full. I've noticed lucky last week I found a dry camping spot, and I just parked in the lawn there, and they let me park there. But yeah, a lot of them have been pretty full, and getting reservations. I mean, like I'm going hunting this weekend and finding reservations out in John Day, Daveville. It's like you're months out, 3 months from now. You can. Yeah.
Even here, we went camping, my wife and I, like a month ago, and we had to do like the first come first serve thing because literally everything's booked up. So they have a couple spots like available where you just like kind of hope that you get something. And luckily we did. But man, it's tough because everyone wants to go camping now because like they can't, like especially in Canada, you can't leave the country.
Exactly, that's all you can do. I noticed that like all the rafts are sold out, all the canoes, everything's sold out. People buying RVs, all the RV places taken up. It's pretty wild, and especially in Central Oregon where I'm at. I just see people coming in from all over the place just because it's a little more loose over there, and it's obviously beautiful.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. What type of hunting are you doing? What are you going to go hunt?
I'm going elk hunting this weekend with one of my buddies. We're going to go out for 3 days out in the mountains out there in Daveville. He's a big time hunter. He's got trail cams and all of his stuff set up. So we're going to go out there and do some archery hunting.
Good, and get some meat, and you can put that in the freezer. You got some protein for the next camp, right?
For sure, and get a good workout in packing that big old thing out.
That's true, yeah. No, for sure. That's awesome. So who's going to be in your corner for this fight?
Tony Palafox is actually. I haven't got to work with him as much as I'd like, but Tony Palafox, I actually still need to get a hold of Greg Jones because Fabiano has Ed Herman in Vegas the day after me, and so Austin and I think Austin's going to have some of the ATT coaches in his corner, and I'm just going to have whoever I can get there. I've known Tony forever, and I've been talking to the Sanford gym a little bit over in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they have ties with my management too, and a bunch of their guys train there. So I still need to hit up Greg, but I might have him work with me a little bit when I get into town in Connecticut over there, and might have him in the corner as well. So.
Very cool. How's this fight playing out on September 11th?
Oh, man. I don't know, man. It's just going to be a good scrap. I really try not to focus on the outcome. I just want to go out there and have fun and use, all the gifts I have and go out and put a good show on, man.
And you're coming off a loss, and I know that adds its own pressure, but in some ways, is there less pressure going into this fight as well, just because you don't have the undefeated record? I know with some fighters, they kind of get fixated on that. Is the mentality a little bit different this time around?
For sure. I mean, I've lost in wrestling. I've been beat up and embarrassed. And now I'm just like, yeah, it is what it is, man. I'm just going to have fun. I have life outside of MMA. I have a great life, a great family. I'm just going to do this for fun. It's not all of who I am, it's something I really want to succeed at, but I'm not too worried about it. I know the abilities God gave me, and I'm just going to go out and put on a show.
And have you thought about the timing of this too? I know obviously Bellator is trying to get their shows back going and putting on events, but you being a middleweight right now, I mean, there's a lot of opportunities there because you look at sort of the top of the food chain. Lovato, I guess is retired. We don't really know what's happening. The title's vacant. You've got Mousasi, you've got Douglas Lima, going to be fighting him apparently. I think they're working that out. They got John Salter, but like you get a win here. I know Ruth's a welterweight, but I mean, you get a win here. That's going to put you up there, I would think, in that mix soon. Is that something you've thought about?
For sure, man. My management's kind of excited about that too. As if I, start having, a couple good fights here, I could put myself in line to, get close to getting that belt. And obviously that's a goal for everybody. But yeah, it's a great division right now. I'm just excited to see kind of where I stand with all these guys.
Absolutely. Well, we're looking forward to it, man. September 11th, Bellator 245. Taylor, always appreciate the time, man. Just remind people where they can find you on social media, and if you have any sponsors or shout-outs, I'll give you the last word.
You can find me on Instagram at Tombstone Taylor. I think Twitter, I'm not as active on there, but Tombstone Taylor MMA. I'd like to thank, I don't know, man. I don't even know who my sponsors are right now. Maybe my buddy Roy at Allegiance. I know I got American Ethanol sponsoring me this fight. But, with COVID and everything, it's kind of thin. So I'd just like to thank my family for always being there for me and my gym, everyone at ATT for training hard and getting after it.